Hello everyone, welcome to the session. In this session, we'll start with reaction turbines. We already seen the introduction of your reaction turbines in the previous sessions, but in this session, we'll try to know deep about reaction turbines. From previous, we already know the reaction turbine, the energy inlet for this is kinetic energy and the potential energy. Okay, and we'll see a few points about reaction turbines. Here, the runners utilizes both potential and the kinetic energy. And here we have two types of plates, the first one and the second one. The first are stationary part and the second one is moving part. These parts are nothing but blades. Okay, and now in the stationary blade, whole pressure energy is not transferred into the kinetic energy. See, here we have two things, the pressure energy and the kinetic energy. In the stationary, it won't convert the total pressure energy into kinetic energy. And moreover, in moving blades, change of energy, change of direction, change of velocity will take place. And in these reaction turbines, both pressure and velocity get reduced when water acts on a runner blades. Okay, the both will reduces. Why? Because it will extract the pressure and velocity from the water impinge on a runner blades. And we see the examples of reaction turbines here. In Francis Kaplan propeller, we already seen this, but in this session we'll discuss more about the Francis. In the next coming session we'll see the Kaplan and the propeller. Now you can see here the Francis turbine, and this is your modern Francis turbine. Okay, and these are radial flow turbines. Okay, Francis turbines are radial flow turbines, but in modern Francis turbines it is a mixed flow. Okay, it is a mixed flow turbine in which the inlet is radial and the outlet is axial. Okay, now we'll try to understand this schematic diagram of your Francis turbine. See, and this is your top view of this particular Francis turbine, which is a schematic of your runner. Okay, and now you can see here these are the this one and this one. Okay, are the guide vanes. Okay, and these are adjustable guide vanes, which are a stationary plates, but these are adjustable. You can adjust it, and you can see here the top view of your runner. Okay, these are the guide vanes. These are the guide vanes, which are stationary vanes, or else we can call it as wicket gates. Okay, and moreover, to the beside of this guide vanes, we have a rotary blade, and this one is the rotary blade. Okay, and in the top here you can see these are the rotor blades, which are a moving plates. Okay, or moving blade, and moreover, and this part is your rotor, and this is your axis of your shaft. Okay, axis is acting in this vertical direction. It is placed in vertical. Okay, and this is your runner, and this is your axis of shaft. This part is the total top view of your runner, and now the water is entering in this way, which is radial. Okay, what is radial flow? If the flow is perpendicular to the axis of rotation, and that is your radial flow. And now here the axis is, here is your shaft axis, and this is your direction of the flow. So it is perpendicular to your axis, right? So that's why it is a radial flow. So it is entering radially into the runner and exiting axially. What is axial flow? Which is the flow which is parallel to the axis of the shaft is your axial flow. So now the outflow is parallel to the shaft. So that's why the inlet, it is a mixed flow. The inlet is radial and the outlet is axial flow. So that's why it is called mixed flow turbines. And moreover, see here, this is your draft tube. Okay, you can see, and the area of cross section is getting increased from your outlet of the turbine to the, this is the tail race of your turbine. We'll see more about this draft tube in the coming sessions. And now we'll see a few points about your Francis turbine. It is inward mixed flow reaction turbine. We call the modern Francis turbine as inward mixed flow reaction turbine. And here the flow is radially in, axially out. And the number of runner blades between, it will have 16 to 24 runner blades. And stationary orifice or guide vanes we can also call wicket gates. And there is a, this is very important, there is a difference of pressure between the guide vanes and the runner. When the flow is flowing from guide vanes to the runner, there is a pressure difference. So that's why these are reaction pressures. So because of this, we are calling it as reaction turbines. After doing work, the water is discharged to the tail race through a closed tube of gradually enlarging section. This is known as draft tube. We'll see more about this in the coming sessions. Try to remember this. Francis turbine or modern Francis turbines are a inward mixed flow reaction turbines. And now we will see work done and the efficiency of your Francis turbines. You can see this. You already seen about this figure and the schematic of the same figure in the impact of jets on a series of vents. Okay, if you want any information, you can see my previous video, which is impact of jets on a series of radial vents. Impact of jets on a series of radial vents. Clear? And you can see this is your inlet of your flow, and this is the outlet of your flow. Here we have the velocity, absolute velocity, which is the velocity of the jet. This is the velocity of the blade, and here the relative velocity. And this is your angle of jet. This is the angle of blade, vril velocity, and this is the flow velocity. We've seen all these in the previous sessions. You can go through that. And these are the outlet triangles of your radial turbines. Now we'll see some formulas, important formulas for this. So this is Hg, which is the gross head. That is the difference between the level of head races and the tail race. Hf, which is loss of head in the penstock, and head, capital H is a net head, which is the difference between your gross head and the loss of head in the penstock, which is because of the friction. And we can also call available working or operation head, which is net head is also called available working in the operation head. And coming to this, and this is the total energy, which is from the Bernoulli's equation, we know it. But and now the work done is rho q, which is m dot. We can also write it as rho a v1, which is absolute velocity, and the vril velocity, blade velocity, plus or minus, you know already about this. Plus is used for when the beta is acute, minus is used for when the beta is obtuse. And vril velocity of outlet and the blade velocity of outlet. You can write this as in this way. Why? Because this W is specific weight. The specific weight is equals to rho g, right? So now the numerator g and the denominator g get cancels. Again, what you're going to get is rho q. And for if beta equals to 90 degrees, we know the condition that VW2, which is vril velocity, will be equals to 0 for the maximum case. That means in the maximum flow will occurs when the beta equals to 90 degrees. So the equation will be simplified to this form, which is the work done will be maximum when your flow is maximum at beta equals to 90 degrees. Then VW, vril velocity of the outlet, will be equals to 0, and this is your final equation, which is work done for maximum. And the next we'll see the hydraulic efficiency of the Francis turbine, and H is the net head. It is the input to the turbine. So we know that what is the input of the turbine is your water head, okay, which is rho g q h. You can also write it as rho g q and H. And coming to the efficiency of your hydraulic turbine, we already know this is your output, this is your input. And what is the output of your hydraulic efficiency? Power developed by the runner, and input is the power supplied to the turbine. And this is the formula for power developed by the runner. If you substitute rho g here, this g gets cancels. What you're going to get is rho q v w1 u1, and this is the head of water, which is rho g q h. And if you simplify this, rho g here, rho will get cancels, g will be like this. So final equation q and this q gets cancels, and finally what you're going to left is this one. And finally your hydraulic efficiency will be this particular equation, which is Vw1 u1 plus or minus Vw2 u2 divided by g into h. H is net head, and the hydraulic efficiency of Francis turbine will varies from 85 to 90%. Okay, just remember this, 85 to 90%. And now we already know the mechanical efficiency formula, which is shaft power divided by the power developed by the runner, and the overall efficiency is shaft power divided by water power. So this is the water power, okay, or water head, and overall efficiency will be hydraulic efficiency into mechanical efficiency, and the overall efficiency of varies from 80 to 90% for the Francis turbines. Now we will see a few formulas of Francis turbine, which is very useful to solve your problems. And this is the ratio of width to diameter of the turbine, and it is designated as N, and this is your width, and this is your diameter of the wheel, width of the wheel, and the N should be varies from 0.10 to 0.45. This is the standard for the Francis turbines. And the next one is flow ratio of velocity of flow at inlet. This is the velocity of flow at inlet to the theoretical jet velocity. Okay, you can see here velocity of flow at inlet and theoretical jet velocity, and this is your flow velocity at inlet. And theoretical jet velocity we already know, which is v equals to square root of 2gh, and here h is net head, and the flow ratio is designated as kf. Kf varies from 0.15 to 0.30. And next, coming to speed ratio, it is designated as ku, and it is the ratio of peripheral speed at inlet. It is the ratio of peripheral speed at inlet to the theoretical jet velocity, and this is the peripheral speed. Peripheral speed means which is the speed of the blade. Okay, and this one is your theoretical velocity, and the value of ku, which is the speed ratio, will lies between 0.6 to 0.9. Once again, these are very useful to solve your problems in the Francis turbine. Thank you.